Today we're going to be making a flamingo, and I'm going to show you how to make it using this as a model. So I'll be moving it up close so you can see it and so on and so forth, because you're going to want to be able to see how to make this. The flamingo is a good craft project to put into a child's room or possibly an indoor patio. Because it is made out of cardboard, you couldn't put it outside. But it's sort of a fun thing to make. You could also make not only a flamingo, but you could make a sheep using the same technique of curling the pipe cleaners, because it has a really nice texture. What I'm going to do is I have these outlines of the large flamingo. I'm going to have those available at Talon's Reach, so that if you want the flamingo design, it will be available at Talon's Reach, and you'll get the paper so that you too can cut it out to be the large size. If you don't want a large size, go ahead and go on the internet and Google, clip art flamingo, find a flamingo, cut that out, and you can do a smaller flamingo. All right, for our flamingo, he's in two parts. You're going to be doing his legs and his body, or her body, whichever we have. And what you're going to do is you first are going to be painting the entire body with one color of pink. The wings you're going to color with a darker color of pink, so that you paint the entire section here pink, light pink, and the wings dark pink. After those are dry, and you can also, at that point, you probably want to go ahead and do the beak. So what you do with the beak, obviously, is you paint it yellow and you paint it black. And so we have our flamingo all painted and dried, and the next step is you're going to be curling the pipe cleaners. What I did is I used large pipe cleaners, half of a pipe cleaner, for this part of the body, and smaller pipe cleaners, a third, for the wings and the neck area. And you can take and you can wrap these around your finger, or you can wrap them around a pencil, whatever you want to do. But what you're going to do is you get your spiral. After you have your spiral, you sort of move the end in, and then you go ahead and flatten it by just moving the spiral around. You can see that I'm kind of unwinding the spiral, but it helps to have it already ready and bent. And then what you do after you get your spiral is you put your finger underneath and sort of push it up, just so you have that little extra texture piece where it's coming up. And you can see that this is the size for that. Then you're going to put these around. What I would recommend when you're putting them on is to start up here at the beak with them. And I would go all the way around up to the end of the neck on both sides, and then fill in the middles, leaving an area for the eye. We'll talk about the eye later. But after you get to this point, again, what I would do is take and put these all the way around the outside, stopping just before the tail, and all the way around the bottom. The tail actually has small ones on it. In fact, I cut them down a little bit smaller than even these, because they fit in. And then, of course, with this is an easy design to make. And then you fill in. Now, how I did this is the pop-up system. And I don't know if you can see, but this has two pieces of the foam board. I use foam board a lot because it really works well, but there's two layers of foam board underneath this to pop up the wing. And for the eye, what I did is I took a pipe cleaner that has the sort of, I don't know, it's a fluffy type of pipe cleaner. It has sort of a rough edge, looks more like that. And I put those on a googly eye, glued them on the back, and the eye also has two layers of the foam board. And I would recommend using the foam board just because it's going to give you, you're going to get a lot of warping. And in fact, on this one, it does warp. So what I do is I put on the backing. I used a paint stick for this one, different types of sticks all along here, because it will keep it from bending. So as you notice, we've got those all along there. I also reinforced the legs. And then you've got your foam board that you glue the wing on and you glue the eye. You might need an extra step in there, and that is before you put the wing and the eye on, you might want to weight it with books after you have put your sticks on, just so you can keep it really flat and ready to be the design that you want, so it's not warping. And then on the back, I did add the legs, which are pretty easy to do, but I did add a piece of foam board up here because you've got this foam board that's sticking it out. If you don't have a piece of foam board up here, you're going to have a wobbly flamingo. And then I went ahead and painted the legs, you can see, and at the end I added the black marks for the toes and the black marks for the beak. I did those with marker rather than paint, just because it's easier to control. Another tip for the legs, as you can see, I did a slightly darker color along the edges. So if you do this edge and this edge slightly darker, you'll get sort of a dimensional look for it. And then you have your flamingo ready to go into a kid's room. And you can only imagine what the kids can have hanging down from its beak or whatever they could do to play with it further. Enjoy making. Thank you very much.